is. Tonight, Texas Republican Louie Gohmert is in quarantine, the 10th member of Congress with a confirmed case of coronavirus.
For months, Gohmert has refused to wear a mask while in the Capitol, where there is still no testing system in place for members and staff. And KCAL 9's Tom Wade is live in the newsroom now with the changes in Congress that are happening now because of the Congressman's positive test. Tom?
That's right, Pat and Juan. Yes, big changes in the House, and we'll get to that in just a moment. Also tonight, rapid testing likely saved the president from being infected with the coronavirus. Rapid testing still not available to the vast majority of Americans. On Capitol Hill, wearing a mask will be mandatory, at least in the House, where House Speaker Nancy Pelosi issued the mandate.
Members and staff will be required to wear masks at all times in the hall of the House, except that members may remove their masks temporarily when recognized.
Pelosi gave the order after Texas Congressman Louie Gohmert tested positive for COVID as he was preparing to board Air Force One with the president for a trip to Texas. Anyone in close proximity to the president is given a rapid test. Gohmert was tested again later in the day and once again received a positive result. Gohmert returned to the Capitol, potentially exposing others, and seemed to blame his mask for getting infected.
When I have a mask on, I'm moving it to make it comfortable, and I can't help but wonder if that puts some germs in the mask.
Professor of government at Claremont McKenna College, Jack Pitney.
The president in a tweet some time ago said it was a patriotic duty to wear a mask. He was right about that. Unfortunately, the president and some of the people in Washington aren't following that duty.
In fact, Gohmert wasn't wearing one just yesterday at the Judiciary Committee hearing attended by Attorney General Bill Barr, and was later seen at the Capitol not wearing one in the same hallway as Barr. Barr was tested today, and his office says his results came back negative.
Not only did he fail to wear a mask, but there was a tweet apparently from a staffer who said he forced staffers to come to work and berated them if they wore masks. That's not good. That's putting other people at risk.
Before his trip to Texas, President Trump continued pushing misinformation about hydroxychloroquine, claiming again that it's an effective treatment for the coronavirus, prompting the nation's top health experts to once again remind Americans it doesn't actually work.
Hydroxychloroquine is not effective in treating coronavirus disease or COVID-19.
You don't need mask. There is a cure.
The president also reiterated his support for this doctor who promoted the use of hydroxychloroquine among other outright medical lies. This is video of one of her sermons.
They're using all kinds of DNA, even alien DNA, to treat people. Mixing human beings with demons. Nephilims exist these days.
The president claims not to know about her background, even though he retweeted video of her giving medical advice to his 84 million followers.
I was very impressed with her and other doctors that stood with her. I think she made sense. Know nothing about her.
The woman in question is not the only doctor whose questionable views the president has amplified with his Twitter account. A collection of these pro-Trump doctors even met with Vice President Pence just yesterday. Among them was Dr. Simone Gould, who has downplayed the importance of wearing masks.
We scientists know that the masks are really quite foolish.
And it shouldn't be a political issue. Number one, it's science. Number two, it's nothing new. If you look at the 1918 pandemic, people were wearing masks over 100 years ago. In fact, if you didn't wear a mask during that pandemic, people called you a mask slacker, which is a term we should probably revive.
There are many mask slackers out there. Gohmert says he will quarantine for at least the next 10 days. So far, he hasn't said or hasn't had any symptoms from the virus. Reporting live here in the newsroom, I'm Tom Wade. Pat, back to you.
All right, thanks for that.